Hello friends, in this React tutorial we will build this beautiful e-commerce store using Tailwind CSS. This is our home page. We are gonna make this awesome slider without using any external library. And further, the categories, products, and these other components. This is our product page. And for this project we will use React reusable functional components, and also we will use React hooks and of course material UI icons to make it more stylish. We are gonna make these complex pages in a very simple and easy way that a beginner can understand it very easily. We also make this store responsive for our mobile view, and you will see how easy it is to convert it for the mobile view. By watching this tutorial, you will increase your UI skills. In the next video, we are gonna build REST API for our e-commerce store, and then we will connect our UI with our REST API. I hope you will like the tutorial and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Now let's set up our React app for e-commerce store. For this purpose, first write in terminal npx create React app and then app name, let's say ECommerce app, and press enter. It will take some time to set up all the app, so we start we should move to its directory. I will close this, and here this is my app e-commerce, and open it with code. Here inside e-commerce app directory, open terminal, and to set up my Tailwind CSS with this project, I should visit Tailwind CSS website. So here write Tailwind CSS with React. So here I see some commands. I will just copy and paste it in my terminal, like copy this and paste it here, and it will auto install the dependency. Inside the folder structure we can see this is the default folder structure for a React app. We will clean it in some time and then press enter. Okay. Again visit the website, and here we can see in tailwind.config.js, paste it. Remove all stuff here and just paste and save. Okay, and then inside index.css copy and paste again. So inside src, and here is index.css, just remove everything and paste and save. And then it is saying to start the development server, and you can test the Tailwind CSS utility classes by writing an h1 tag and give the Tailwind CSS classes here. So we will test it on later. First I will install some more dependency. For using material UI, I will use two dependencies, npmi material UI core and material UI icons. So both dependencies are installed now. So then we should clear our directory. We should delete app.css, app.test.js, logo, report, web vitals. We can delete them safely. And inside nothing to remove in public.js, so in public folder. So inside app.js we see here is import of app CSS, as we have deleted it, so we can also delete it from here. And I should also remove logo.svg and all inside this. Okay, I will make text bigger so it will look better for you guys. Now save. Okay, now to test my Tailwind CSS, I will just write h1. Hey, I am a React app here, and I will give it some classes like class name margin top 5 and margin left again 5. Okay, now start my development server by writing npm start, and for the first time the development server will take a little bit more time to start, so it is giving me an error. Okay, I forget to remove these files. Inside my index.js I should also remove report web vitals here, from here and from here, and now I should save it. And yeah, I can see this is my string and I have margin from top 5 and margin from left side 5. So my Tailwind CSS is working now. By the way, you should also install an extension named Tailwind CSS. This extension is used to get suggestions of classes, utility classes of Tailwind CSS automatically, and it makes your code speed very fast. So now inside my source folder I will make another folder named components and another folder named pages. So inside pages, all the pages belong to my app will remain here, and inside pages I will make a page home.jsx and start my code from here. I will write rfce and it gives me the boilerplate for default export function, and inside I say I am home page. Let's save it, and inside my app.js I will import it home. So give me a suggestion. Yes, VS Code automatically imports your components. You just have to sometime wait, and as usually it is very fast. Just save it, and yes, it is saying I am home page. So our React application is working very fine. Now inside component folder, let's create my first component named announce.jsx. Again I write rfce. Inside rfce I will make it a little bit more bigger. Okay, inside my rfce I will say inside h2 tag hurry up, it's 40% off now, and save it. And in home page I import this announce. Okay, now see the results. Yeah, it is displaying very correct. Okay, so I should make my announce component with more styles and according to our app theme. So for this I am importing an icon named close from Material UI. If you want to learn about icon name, you should visit Material UI icons, and inside here you will see this block, and if you want a close icon you should write here close. I think so it is requiring enter. Okay, here is close. So this is the name of icon close, and I am just writing this here close and importing it from Material UI icons. Basically VS Code is importing this automatically for me. So save it, and why there is no icon, I I should refresh it manually. Yeah, it is taking some time for compiling due to material UI icons. Let's wait. You can see in terminal it is compiling. While it's compiling, inside my div, I will give it class name. We are using Tailwind CSS, so my all styling will remain inside my class names. As you know, when we are using Tailwind CSS, we don't have to write separate CSS files. We can use our inline method, which is work by class name. So let's see it in action. I will say background color this. Okay, I just noted that it's compiled. Let's see. Yeah, you can see here is my cross icon, so it's working fine. Now the background color of my div will be this, and its font, sorry, it is out of quotations, and my font bold. So next what we have to do, text white, and I should open the word wrap so it will look more clear like that. Text white, display will flex, and just see what happened now. But yeah, it's okay now. Now inside my flex box, I should center my items, like item center, justify center, and for my icon I will say class name cursor pointer. So whenever you hover at this icon, your cursor will be like pointer. Save it, and yeah. So I want whenever I click on this close icon, it should disappear. So for this, I will remove everything from this class name, and I am going to use states const and announce style, set announce style is equal to use state, and here I paste my all styling, and for my class name I will use this variable like announce style. Save it. Oh, sorry, I have not imported use state from React, so I should import it first. You can see there is error already. Use state is not defined, so use state. Let's save it, and it's compiling. Now it's compiled, and yeah, it's working fine. So in order to activate interactivity with my this close icon, I write on click handle close. Let's make a function. Again, word wrap is close. I don't know why it close. Okay, the function name as handle close, and inside function set announce style as announce style plus one space and then display none. To make display none in Tailwind CSS, we write just hidden. So I have a typo mistake here like this. Just save it, and no, it's not working. Why is this still compiling? On handle close, set announce style plus hidden. It should work. Yeah, it's working fine. Okay, so this is how we will make our announce bar at the top of our app. Now our next component. Before going to next component, I should make you clear why I have added there a space, because in Tailwind CSS every style is differentiated or separated by a space. So if I don't give this space, it will make justify center hidden without any space and our classes will not work. Let's say I will refresh this and it's not working, it's doing something other combined. So we should have a space here and now it will work fine. I have explained this functionality because we are going to use it a lot of time in our app. Now make our second component name navbar.jsx. Here I write rfce, okay, and then in navbar I will make a parent div class name with the following, with these stylings 60 pixels and its shadow should be medium. Basically shadow medium is a property of Tailwind CSS and it's a shortcut to make box shadow and it places a nice shadow around our divs. You will see in short time. And I will make its index 10 bigger than anything. Then here I make a wrapper div with the name wrapper and its left padding 20 pixel. Its right padding will also be 20 pixel. Just like this. And its top padding 10 pixel. Similarly from bottom also 10 pixel. So everything inside this wrapper will be 20 pixel away from right and left hand side and 10 pixel away from upper and lower side. Then inside this div I will make 3 divs. Let's say their names are div 1, div 2, this will be a center div, and 3. This is right side div, this is center div, and this is our left div. So to make them justified, I should make the parent div like flex justify between, and again my word wrap is off. I don't know why it is not working good. Okay, now I will see what happened inside our app. Okay, I forget to import it in our home page. Navbar. Now I can see this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3 placed correctly at their positions. Okay, this will be our, now should close all other things, all unnecessary stuff. Yeah, and now so first I should separate them, and for my left div I will give this name of left and display flex, then flex 1. Basically I will give all these 3 divs flex 1 so they can occupy equal space in the navbar. Flex 1 and item center, everything inside this will be center. And first I should make EN, English language. So I will say this is a language, cursor, pointer, so it will make the pointer as cursor, and text 16 pixel. Okay, it's nice. We should test it. Yeah, here we can say 2 and 3 now at the one side and English is at the other side because of its flex 1. Okay, nice. I should say here this is my left div. I am also going to make it prettier by using code formatter named prettier. You can install this extension from here. Prettier. Yeah, by using this extension. So just press Shift Alt F and my whole code is now formatted. I am also going to make a search input. For this I will say class name search input. Inside this I am giving an input. Basically input don't have a close tag, it is closed like this, with a class name input, and its type will be text. And beside this input I also have a material UI icon named search. Yep. So let's see this first. Yeah, we have this English and search icon. So now style them. For my search input container, I will say this is a flex with border 2 pixel and with border solid. You can relate this class name with your CSS very easily. And border light gray. I should make it rounded medium. And item center margin from left should be 10 pixel. And padding should be 5 pixel also. Now save it, and yeah, now it's looking nice, but we have an unwanted border around our input, so I will remove this by here giving outline none. Save this. Now we can see there is no border. Further, I will also make whenever I focus on within this div, okay, that's more relatable. Whenever I focus within a div, its border should be according to my app theme color, which is this, and also make a smooth transition like transition all, and save. And now see, yeah, it's working fine. Okay, as my search input is too much larger, so I should also make it a small. Sorry, my search icon is too much large. And you know, you can also use inline CSS. There is no restriction that if you are using a Tailwind CSS framework, then you should use all around this framework. You can use your normal CSS, like I can write style, and inside style I will say font size 16 pixel. Okay, and it will work same as if I write in Tailwind CSS text 16 pixel. You know, this is now small. Okay, what's our next task? Our next task is to play with this div. This div will be our logo. So inside this div I will write another div, and inside that div I will write winter no, let's say Summer Kings. Okay, also I should format this, Shift Alt F, and now my code is formatted. Yeah, Summer King is here. The Summer Kings should be here and it should be bold. So I will also make it flex 1. Let's class name flex 1, and its default name should be center, because this is our center div. This is not a CSS property center. This is my convention. And text center. It's enough for now. Now let's say Okay, because I have not made this flex one till now, so this is here. When I will make this flex one, all things will be at their places. So for Summer Kings, I should also make some styling with logo and font weight bold and text large. Save it. Okay, nice. Now for my third and last div, it is my just say right div. Okay. Inside this div, I am going to write register, login, and my cart option. So just first make div. Inside this, I will write register, and then another div in which I will say sign in. I assume that. Okay. And for my cart option with the badge icon on it, I will choose badge from Material UI core, and inside this badge I will use my shopping cart outlined. You can see the explanation of these Material UI icons from the documentation as I explained you before. Badge also have some parameters like badge content 2 and its color primary. Save it. Okay, interesting. Why it's not working? Because it's compiling. Let's give it some time. Okay, now yeah, we can see. So this time to give styling for the parent div, and what I am writing, I don't know. Last name flex, and it is again flex one, like this flex one, this flex one, and here this is also flex one. Again item center justify. It should be at the end of flex, and save and see. Yeah, now you can see everything is in its right place. Now for this I should write text 14 pixels and cursor pointer and margin left should be 25 pixels, and enough for right now. Now let's see. Okay, looking good. So these stylings should be applied to sign in and badge. So what I will do, I will just cut it from here, Control X, and here I will say const style, save, and for here say style, and copy and paste. Why this is out of div? This should also be inside a div. So for that div, like this, and for this div the same. Sorry. Now save it. See the results. You can see it's proper now. Okay, so I assume that our navbar component is completed now. Now we should move on our next component, which is a slider. So slider.jsx. Here I will write RFCE, and I will make a parent div here, class name parent div, and inside div I am going to make 3 divs with left arrow div and left arrow div with class name left arrow, shift alt F to make it cleaner. And then there will be a slide div in which our slide will move. So let's make it slide. And then our right arrow div. Okay. I will say it as right arrow. So now to import arrows, I will use my material UI icons. So for left arrow, I will say arrow left outlined. Yep. And for my right arrow, the same procedure, arrow right outlined. Okay. Save it and let's see. Oh, we have not imported our component for our home page. So here I should write slider and it should give me a suggestion like that and then close it. Now there are two arrows left and right from our material UI icons. They are working fine. I should give them a size of I assume 50 pixels. Inside style, let's say font size 50 pixel, and this property will be same for both arrows here, and save it and let's see. Yeah, now they are much bigger than before. Now I have to style my parent div here, and for this purpose I will say its height is 540 pixels, background white, and make its display flex, item center, justify in between because we want slide in center and arrows are on the both sides of that slide. And then for my left arrow, I will say the left arrow should be rounded full, means this border is rounded, BG gray, display flex, justify center, and item center, shadow small, and whenever we hover over the arrow, its cursor should be pointer. So let's save it and see the output. Yeah, so these properties should be same for both of arrows. I will control C and here I say const arrow style and control V, and it should be deleted from here. I will say arrow style, and then I copy it from here and paste it same for the right arrow. Now both arrows have the same style, but here I write the left arrow, but now this property is mutual for both arrows, so there is no meaning for writing left arrow. Just save it, and we can see now both arrows have same properties. Now it's time to make our slide. Here for the slide div, first I will make a wrapper which will have display flex width 100%, and I assume its height should be 500 pixel, and again justify center. Why it's not giving correct suggestion, and item center, shadow should be double XL because this div is too much large, so we have to make it double XL, and rounded large, border color should be, and border width 10 pixel, overflow hidden and position relative. Let's save it. And here we can see there is a div in which we have our slides. This div is basically a wrapper. So inside this div we are going to make an other div for the slide. Let's make this div for slide, and inside this div we have an other div for image. So let's say its name is for image, and inside this div we will have our image. I know it's a little bit confusing, but when you practice it, it will much cleaner and much easier. So for my slide, display flex, items center, justify center, and height should be 100%. Okay, save it. As we know that it will not make any difference because we don't have any content for in this div, as our image is not using any URL for now, but we will now give it our image URL. So its source, okay, our image should have an alt prop. Let's say in alt I am saying slide image. Now let's save it and see the output. Okay, here is our image in the center. Now let's make it as we want by styling it for image class. I will make flex, display flex 1, justify center, items center, and height should be 100%. For image, I am doing some styling. The class name, I will also make image height 100%, and object cover. So object cover will basically crop our image according to our div height and div width. This is our output. You know, now our image has full height. We want our image this side, and for here we want our text of slide. Let's see how we are going to do this. For this, I will make another div with class name description, and inside description I will make an h2 tag. Let's say, hey, this is an awesome deal today. And then inside p tag I will say up to 40% off, and as this is an h2 tag, I will make its text a bit larger. And for my p tag I will do something like that, but obviously its text is not large as h2. It should be around 30 pixels. And let's see what happened. Okay, now we can see our image is at one side and description is at another side, because the description div is outside for image div. So basically our slide div is covering our image and our description div. Now let's style our description div. Make its display flex and flex column. So h2 and p tag will be in column. Flex 1, place items, start, and then justify center, and margin left will be 11. So save it and see what happened. Yeah. Now it's in an orderly shape. Our last task is to give the background for this description. So before doing that, I should give a button of shop now, and its class name is going to be button. As we know that button is not any class in Tailwind CSS, but we are going to use button many times in our app, so we will define it as our utility class. Here inside index.css, before our utilities, I will say button and apply. Apply is basically a directive with pg this and rounded medium. So we can see that our button class is now applied. Now say on hover, it should scale about 1.1%, and let's see word wrap. It should be ease in with duration of 1 second. And yeah, here is a typo mistake. Cursor will be pointer, and hover, this background color will be blue 500. Let's save it. Now we can see that our classes are working perfectly. Our last task is just to give it a background color. Go to the slider, and this background color will be wrapper background color. Here write bg, and this is the color that matches our image very likely. So let's save it. And now we have made our slide perfectly, and the text should be, hey, this is awesome deal. Today it will look more better like this. So you see how we made our slide working. So now it's time to make our slides dynamic. Whenever we click on right and left arrow, so our slides can move. For this purpose, I am going to make an API folder. For now, this will be a static API, and inside this I am making slider API.js and just pasting this stuff here. Basically in this I am exporting an API slides variable, which is an array. An array have two objects. Each object has source, content, and within content h2 and p tag and a background color. So how I am going to use this slide? Let's just save it here. So inside slider.jsx, I am going to import my API variable, API slides from. So how I'm going to use it? I will use my use state hook. So this is a style here, and this is my return function here, and this is my use state hooks here. Okay, here I will write just slides use state and API slides, and I also have an other use state named active slides. Set active slide, and it is gonna use state 0 by default. So I have my API slides in my slides variable. Let's use it. I'm gonna say for this slide div, just cut it, and I'm gonna say slides.map, and for each slide with its index, let's return if index of that slide is equal to active slide, then return the whole thing. And inside this I should make the background color according to my API color, and it's giving me error. So to correct this, I will make this inside brackets, this is outside the bracket, and this is under the backtick. Okay, so now it should be okay. Now for image I will use the same technique, slide.src, and then for these tags, okay, because it is our inside content object, so let's make it content, save it. Okay, now we have our H2 and P. Our next task is to make on-click interactivity. When we click here, the slide should be changed. To make this, I will say on-click call next slide and define our next slide function here. So I say if active slide is equal to slides dot length minus 1, as our indexes starts from 0 and our length start from 1. So to match indexes and length, I am writing -1, and then it should be set active slide 0. So here I am basically saying if my active slide is last slide, then my next active slide should be my first slide inside the API. Else if it is not the last slide, then what it should do, set active slide +1. Let's save it. Now, yeah, we can see that our next slide is working fine. Similarly, we should do it with our previous slide. On click, previous slide. Let's define this function. For previous slide, I say if the active slide is the first slide, then it should set the last slide as active. Okay, here should be slides, not slide. Else active slide -1. Now let's see its functionality. It's also working fine. Now make a smooth transition. So in order to make a smooth transition, make a CSS file. I know we are using Tailwindcss, so we should not make a CSS file, but to demonstrate animations, it's easy to use CSS, then inline Tailwindcss. So I am defining my animation like that, and further like this. Okay, so this is basically a fade effect, and I should import this in my slider.jsx. So import slider.css. Now save it and refresh it. Now our slides are changing with a smooth transition. So that's how we can make our slides. Remaining part of this e-commerce store will be in next video. So stay tuned and make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you.